What's up, YouTube? It's Angie, and I'm back. What's that? Today is pretty much another rant about the state of foldables and just phones in general. My camera's kind of weirdly positioned there. It's been a pretty good week for mobile phones. There've been a few announcements in the mobile space. I'm sure any of you who watch this would probably already know. For example, OnePlus announced their OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro. Pretty nice devices. Looked very similar, at least to me, to Samsung's offerings of late. I'm not particularly excited about the OnePlus and the OnePlus 8. It's kind of a step backwards to me as far as phone design goes. The OnePlus 6, that got me with the 90 hertz display, the refresh rate on the display, and it was available on T-Mobile, so that was kind of cool. Then didn't get one because I had a Razr phone at the time, and OnePlus was saying, "Oh, we have 90 hertz refresh rate," and the Razr had 120 hertz refresh rate. No brainer there. And then they came out with the OnePlus 7 Pro. Yeah, that got me. That screen, that design, the heft, the pop-up camera, so you had a full screen at 90 hertz. Oh, it was beautiful. And that I actually had that phone for a decent amount of time before I traded it in for a iPhone 11. T-Mobile has jump on demand. You can swap out your phones as you see fit so many times per year. So I had the OnePlus 7 Pro, and as much as I liked it, I just couldn't find a space for it in how I utilize my devices, where I felt it was a necessity to actually keep. But I did really enjoy that device, playing games on it, and again, that screen was magnificent. But I traded it in for the iPhone 11. I just had to see what Apple was doing. I'm not a big fan of Apple. I don't subscribe to their method of they tell you how you need to use your device. They tell you what you need and how to go about doing it. Not having the ability to customize any at all just isn't my thing. That whole walled garden, it's not a meme, but the way they go about, the way they actually go about adhering to their customers' needs, I don't particularly agree, because the customer really has no say. It is what they say or not. But at the time, when I got my iPhone 11, they did give free Apple TV for a year. So even though I no longer have the iPhone, I still have the free Apple TV. There are some pretty good shows there. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of iPhones per se. So I given my iPhone 11 for my LG V60. And much better phone in my opinion. So much you can do with it. I'm very happy with this purchase, or this trade, however people choose to see it. So yeah, all of that to say, I feel OnePlus kind of went backwards with what they're doing with their phones. They raised the price, and they were once known as the flagship killers. They would come out with a phone that was on par with the current flagships, but sell it to you for a substantial amount less. Now over there, they were getting more and more expensive with their devices, not still less than their other flagship counterparts, but expensive if enough to make you really think, what am I actually buying now? Because as it stands, where OnePlus was once the king of of value when it came to smartphones, today I would argue that the V60 is probably the king of value when it comes to flagship phones, because for everything that the OnePlus 8 and, well, the 8 is $699. Actually, no, even there. Um, the OnePlus 8 is $699. Uh, as far if I remember correctly, you can get the LG V60 without the additional screen for around that ballpark. I think it's like 700, maybe 8. And then the Pro, the 8 Pro, OnePlus 8 Pro is $899 with the V60 with the dual screen. It's the same price, but you get considerably more for that price. You are still getting the Snapdragon 865. That's the current highest powered chipset that runs on Android. You're getting the dust resistance and the waterproofing. You're getting the various cameras on the back and the front. With the OnePlus, you're getting the little punch hole camera, as opposed with the V60, you're getting the water drop. I mean, I would just have to say that from a value proposition, I feel OnePlus is kind of losing touch with what made them the flagship killer to begin with. Now it would appear you'd have to go to other Chinese brands, some of the Huawei's and Oppo's and such, to get that value cost now, because OnePlus is slowly treading into that higher tier price bracket, and soon you won't be able to distinguish them from the other top end phones. I mean, that's good and bad. You know, they'll be playing in a much more lucrative space where they can make that much more money if the people decide that OnePlus is the better value in comparison to the Samsungs and the iPhones and the Apples. But me personally, I'm not a fan of it. Now, if you're able to give me these new specs from your OnePlus 8 in a price more similar to the OnePlus 7 Pro, then I think that would actually be pretty good. But right now, even at $900, I mean, I guess it's still less than the Samsung S20, and I guess that's what everyone is comparing to. You know, Samsungs, they are the Android phones to beat in most people's minds. I guess when you come out with a new device, you need to compare it to that device. So if you can undercut the pricing by in any way, shape, or form, you know, that's a good look for you. So the OnePlus 8 Pro is $899, $100 less than the S20, but it's still more expensive than something like the new V60, which is $100 less than the OnePlus 8, and to me a better better value. But to each their own. Of course, I want to see the OnePlus when it does come out. It has that waterfall display. I have actually seen the cam display myself. I know it's just a more a deeper curve around the edges of the phone, but I still want to see it for myself. I might just try to get my hands on one just for the sake of comparison. And I just like to play with things. So yeah, not particularly interested in the phone overall, but the idea, and how they are changing their business model did pique my interest when I saw the reviews and such. I didn't even see the unveiling. I kind of forgot it was even coming on. But once it was done and all the YouTubers and the sites began to talk about the 8 and the 8 Pro, I know I read and I just felt to give my little 2 cents in on that entire release. But yeah, this is NG, and as it stands, my Galaxy Fold and other mobile phones for the time being, that's what I'm into.